Hi. How are ya? Good. It's good to hear. You alright? Cool. Welcome to Tesse and Jed Presents, I am called Ted.
I am called Jesse.
Video games. We're going to talk about the video game communities today. What makes them different from other communities? And how far and to where have video games come as a storytelling device? Very special episode we got for you this week, guys, in the studio. Video game extraordinaire. You might know him as an unlockable character in Ted Maniszewski's Pro Hacker, which is one of the best hacky-sacking video games of the PlayStation 2 GameCube era. We have Wesley Harrell. How we doing, Wes?
I'm good today, thank you.
Thank you.
Glad to be here.
Say hi to the audience, millions.
Well, I'm getting a little flustered now. I forgot it was millions.
Hey,
but
he's nervous about the millions.
I'm just glad to be here. I'm so grateful for all of you listening.
Let's just clear the air, address the elephant in the room. You have recently been under some public scrutiny when it came out that you have...
They dropped those charges.
Let's just...
Admit to nothing.
Okay.
Let's just say it. And it was recently found out that you have, in the past, mained Teemo. Do you want to take this opportunity to apologize or drink some bleach?
Or, pine salt on the rocks if you're being a classy bitch.
I know a lot of people.
Tide Pods.
The snack of champions.
If we find out, if the jury comes back and says that that's my punishment, then that'll be my punishment. But I played Teemo. I mained Teemo. I played Cupid too, and I'm not proud of it.
A lot of people have played Teemo. When you main Teemo, you are an awful person. It's just that simple. I've been your friend for over 10 years, 12, 15, 20 years.
Yeah, I'm like, where is your math?
And I won't forgive you for that. So,
for those of you who are not terrible people, we are talking about League of Legends, the game for terrible people and terrible communities.
Don't look any further into it.
Don't even Google it. You'll get trolled for Googling it.
I just want to point out that the company is called Riot Games.
Yeah.
As if there's more than one.
Right.
They have one fucking game, and they're millionaires.
When you strike gold, I guess. I don't know.
And it's free.
The paying part is only cosmetic.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. I don't really do the cosmetic things, but hell yeah, I bought some skins. Morgana was my main, and Lux, so, I just got their skins. I didn't spend too much money, but enough to support them, and that's how you do it.
Anyway,
wait, all right, video games.
Video games. The first video game I can remember playing was Myst, which has had umpteen sequels, was completely revolutionary, really odd style of storytelling, and hard as fuck.
Really challenged your mind.
It did.
Yeah,
it did. That kind of set the pace for the rest of my life. What was your first venture into the industry, Jesse?
My first video game?
Yeah.
Fucking Tetris, man. And then Pokemans. You know what? Was my first?
Well, the first game that you were in love with.
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
I had Pokemon Red. My brother had Pokemon Blue. That was the shit. That was all we fucking did. Tony Hawk Pro Skater was a pure obsession. Get home from school, gotta play some fucking Tony Hawk. Can't do homework, you gotta play Tony Hawk. Yeah, it's way more important.
It was way more fun than actually trying to figure out how to skateboard. I'd tell you that firsthand.
Yeah, same here. I got to see my own bones a couple times. That was cool.
Yeah, oh yeah. Wes?
Probably Pokemon Red.
Right?
I remember having fucking sleepovers with 8 people. All of us had Pokemon Red or Blue because Yellow wasn't out yet. And I think, oh my god, yeah, my friend's dad came home with Pokemon Snap while we were having this party. He rented it from Blockbuster. And it was, oh my god.
Remember Blockbuster?
That was the best party ever.
No, nobody does. Yeah, Pokemon Snap, if somebody explains it to you and you've never played it, you're gonna think it's garbage.
I mean, it kind of is, but also at the time, you know, the video games that were out, I mean, it was still really cool. It was Pokemon, and it was a creative concept for sure, something that I hadn't seen before. If you're not aware, the snap is referencing a camera. Yeah, you're just basically taking pictures of Pokemon instead of catching them.
It's a rail shooter, except instead of a gun, you have a camera.
Pre-Instagram.
Pre-Instagram.
Pre-Instagram, yeah.
Prinstagram.
No filters.
No filters.
It's funny that you put it that way, Jesse, because, like, I grappled with the idea, like, it was like 3 weeks ago. I was like, I'm going to download an emulator and see if I can get Pokemon Snap. And then I thought about it, and I was like, that'd probably be really fucking boring.
Right.
Like, I really don't think I could get back into it. But at the time, I was just mind blown. And if they do, like, one of those Switch Labo things and bring back Pokemon Snap, I'm 100% on board.
We're probably going to lose some subscribers over this, but I recently revisited Goldeneye. And
Me too.
it's absolutely incredible how frustrating it is to try and aim in that game. Like,
Remember how revolutionary it was?
it was crazy. That was the first, like, people got excited for 4-player split screen games, just like fucking rotating amongst 30 people in a tiny room for hours. And you go back to that game now and it's awful.
Right, and the fucking mini map, like you're
Yeah.
in a building that's got like 3 or 4 levels, and on the mini map it shows that you're right on top of your friend, but you're on the
you're
first
not.
floor and they're on the top. It's impossible. It's not even fun because you can't find each other.
It's
You're not
not
battling.
good anymore.
It's so bad.
So, you know, if you want to retain your childhood memories,
Don't.
never pick up Goldeneye again. Like,
Never
Jesus
meet
Christ.
your heroes and never replay your N64 games.
Damn straight.
Right, so 2 years ago, my husband bought me an N64 for my birthday because he's an amazing human being.
He is.
It's true. Now, Mario games are like 60, 70 bucks.
Oh.
So the games he got me, he got me Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, Turok,
Wow,
and fucking Turok.
Star Wars
and-
Pod Racer.
yes, actually.
Yeah.
Star Wars Pod Racer and Goldeneye. And Turok, man, that game is hard.
Yeah, and hard.
Holy
game's hard as fuck.
fucking shit. Like, I used to be good at that game.
I just used tons of cheat codes in that game.
Oh
So
my
I could just
God.
always have a bow and explosive arrows.
Yes.
That was the only thing I cared about.
It was fucking hard. Like, it's a different sort of challenge nowadays. The stories are much more in depth.
I'm trying to play Castlevania 4 for Super Nintendo. The game's hard as fuck. I can't do it, man. Like, it's a completely different era of video gaming, and the stakes are completely different than they used to be. And one of the things that blew my mind is when I first joined Steam. There were all these independent games, right? Really tiny publishers making like walking simulators. I had never thought that something called a walking simulator would be a legit subgenre.
Are you talking about QWOP?
No, I'm talking about Lifeless Planet, which was a great game, and there's that one that came out on the PlayStation Network, Journey. And it's just you just walk around and try and find out where the fuck you're going, and it's brilliant. Now that the technology is so that very small publishers can start making them, produce them, and then, you know, sell them on Steam, there's all these video games that you could never convince, like EA or another garbage company to make. EA is garbage, by the way.
EA is trash.
They didn't fucking learn from their first mistake with Star Wars Battlefront, and they fucked up Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Liked Battlefront.
They're greedy motherfucker. I like Battlefront 2. It's a wonderful game. It's amazing. But they don't have to go for a fucking cash grab as
Yeah,
much
well.
as possible.
Yeah.
Fuck you, EA.
Okay, so the verdict on that is back up in the air because just a few days ago they removed all pay-to-win features.
Really?
They completely redid it and basically made it so that everything that makes you better, like unlocking Darth Vader and crap like that, you can unlock through playing. And then the things that you can pay for are only cosmetic. You could, like, say, hey, we did it, Reddit, but who knows? They might put them back in like 2 weeks. It wouldn't really fucking surprise me.
Well, I mean, they had them unlockable through gameplay from the beginning, but it was something ridiculous like just unlocking one character required like 60 hours.
Oh, I think it was more than that. I remember seeing something where it was like you'd have to be at like 3,000 hours to have unlocked all of the characters and all of the shit. And I'm like, or you can pay like $600.
Right.
Right.
and just fucking have it tonight. But yeah, that they removed it, so we'll see.
Yeah, I've got feelings about pay to play. Like, on the one hand, it's fucking bullshit. This game is already, expensive. I remember when getting a game was like $20. Now it's like you're gonna drop $60 on a new game. That's just how it is. And now with the DLC and unlockable characters, yeah, pay to play, pay to win. On the other hand, games are so much more complicated now, and they are constantly updating them. And like I have touched on The Witcher before, like that game is so fucking detailed. That has taken a lot of programming and art styles, and they put a lot of hours into this. And so they do need to make money, and this is a faster way for them to make money, and I get that, and I want them to make money because I want them to continue making the games better. But I don't want to pay $600. So I'm kind of like, I'm on the fence about it.
Well, that's an interesting thing about the continuous patching and updates and stuff like that. It goes back to the Theseus Ship question. Theseus, on his way back from the Trojan War?
All the wars.
All the wars.
Everyone.
That war. So he's on this ship, and his ship keeps breaking. So he needs to replace different pieces of wood and paneling, and he always goes to the same guy. So the same guy keeps every piece of wood that he replaces from Theseus's ship, and eventually replaces all of it. So the question becomes, if he keeps every single piece of wood, all the planks from the original Theseus's ship, and reconstructs it, which one is Theseus's ship? So, like, if you play a game when it first comes out and then put it down, and 2 years later they have all these different mods and patches, have you actually played the game that is up there?
In the sense of, I played World of Warcraft the first month that it came out, so I know vanilla WoW.
Right.
But if I picked up the game today, I would be like, what the fuck am I even looking at? Right. I have no idea what this game is.
Did they recently announce that they were going to re-release vanilla?
Yeah, they're going to put out some vanilla servers, and it's going to be nostalgic as all hell.
Fucking A, man. Fucking A.
Hey, wow, look at this neat sword that popped out of that bug monster I just killed. But what does it do? Does it have a curse? Does using it damage my health? And where the hell was that bug monster keeping it? If only there were some way to know.
Now there is. Hello there, I'm Deckard Cain, for Deckard Cain's House of Herodic Value. Are you tired of lugging around strange items? Are you always wondering if a weapon you find is better than the one you're using? Do you get confused when weapons pop out of the corpses of bug monsters half their size? Well, here at Deckard Cain's, we make adventuring down to the depths of hell and killing thousands upon thousands of hideous monsters a treat. There's nothing we can't tell you, and nothing we don't know.
Hi, Deckard. I know you can tell me about magic items, but what about unique ones?
See for yourself.
Okay, here.
My word. If I'm not mistaken, this seems to be the legendary blade of Ulaanbaatar. According to legend, it was forged by the Archangel Imperius to smite the three prime evils. You see, once the Sin Wars began...
Right, yeah, cool. But what does it do?
Yes, just a moment. I'm getting to that. But In the ancient tomes of heraldic lore, it is said...
Yeah, but what does it do, though?
Well, it does increase your mana pool and magic damage for the Archduke Lazarus. If there ever was...
What's it worth?
What?
Like, what could I get for it?
You can't just sell this. It's a sacred artifact. It's priceless. Even Mephisto, the Lord of Terror, was once said to have been...
Yeah, I know. I just mean, if I were to sell it, what do you think people would pay for it?
11,000 gold?
Cool. Thanks, Deckard.
Wait, I wasn't finished with my story. Stay a while and listen.
Oh, I'll be back later.
So come on down today and learn all about everything. Not just what they do, but the incredible history that's certainly worth staying around to hear. Can a scroll do that? And please, just listen to my stories. They're all I have. Deckard Cain's House of Heraldic Value. Stay a while and value.
I like your stories, Uncle Deckard.
Shut the fuck up, Leah.
So, what are some of your recent discoveries? What are you playing right now?
Oh, I'm playing so much stuff right now.
Good answer.
It's not a good answer. That's a political answer.
I was playing Black Desert Online for a while.
Ooh.
Which is a very fun game. But I probably spent close to $1,000 on it. Like, in all of the time that I played it. And it's just an absolute money sink.
Right, it's like, and then it gets to the point you feel guilty about stopping. You feel like, well, I can't stop now because I've spent all of this money, but then you're going to be spending more money, and then you're trapped. It's this cycle.
That's exactly how all my friends were with this game. We would open it up every day and just fucking look at our character and be like, well, I don't really feel like fucking doing anything, but I'm not gonna, I'm as high level as I can be. I've got all this gear. I've spent all this money. And it's not like a pay to win game. It's like a pay to convenience game.
Do you hear that, EA? Look, honestly, and I don't mean to keep harping on it, but like League of Legends, Path of Exile, I don't even know how many other games you can make money off of with just cosmetic shit that doesn't change the game, and people will buy it.
Or things that make your life easier in the game.
Just fucking sell that. And nobody will be mad at you, and you continue to make money.
But in the same regard, Wes brought up a great point that if they make it things that are necessary for the game, then you're more likely to buy them, and you get trapped into the game because you've spent all of this money. And one game that I'm thinking of is, it's actually a phone game. It's called Amazing Spider-Man. I think that's just what it's called. And it's a running game. It's actually really fucking good. And I would say, hey, go on your fucking app store and download it because it's amazing. Don't do it. I started out with this game when it was new. You know, it was featured on the App Store. And it's not only a runner, but you're also like fighting villains as it goes, and you're like picking shields, and you collect Spider-Man from all the different universes. The different Spider-Men have different abilities. And throughout the game, you can unlock the characters without paying anything. But as this game has developed, so I stopped playing it for about 2 years. And I came back, and they've released another like 150 Spider-Men. And they release a new one every week now. There is no possible way to collect all of them. And they've started doing this thing where if you have a certain Spider-Man for a certain like challenge, you get a bonus to your score, like times 6, times whatever. It's impossible to get on the leaderboards and get more crystals, which you have to pay for. It's now impossible to not play. When I came back to the game, I probably sunk in about a year about $1,000 on this game. And it got to this one point where there was this monthly challenge, and I was down to the last minute and I beat it. But the game like fucked up and I didn't get the prize. And I sunk like $100 just into this one mission. And so I'm like, okay, that's it. It's fine. Fuck you. But now I've wasted like $1,000 on this game that I'm never going to go back to because I'm going to spend another $1,000. Yeah. Fuck you, Ubisoft.
Well, and it's also like FOMO in a sense, like fear of missing out, because like you almost don't want to stop because you're $1,000 in. If I stop now and come back a month, 2 months, a year later, is that investment even still going to translate to an actual advantage, or am I going to be basically starting from new like you did?
Right. And when I come back, there's going to be another 50 Spider-Men. And in order to catch up, in order to get the bonuses, now I'm going to have to just suddenly spend a shit ton of money. And it's not even like, oh, I can buy this Spider-Man. You buy a portal and you have a chance at getting to Spider-Man. So it's not even that. So you spend even more money because you're like, well, shit, I didn't get the one I need. So let's buy another portal.
I would just like to point out the hilarity that Jesse said there's 150 Spider-Men and there's no way to collect them all. I absolutely disagree. I am pretty certain, even if there's 151, you can catch them all. But yeah, no, that's what I'm saying, though. There's a million different ways to continuously make money off a video game that's legit and won't piss people off. Especially when you're handling something as big as Star Wars Battlefront, which was the most awe-inspiring game when it first came out. It was, like, perfect. Then Battlefront 2 came out. Fucking amazing. When you re-release Battlefront and piss everybody off by not including like 2/3 of the game in the purchase and make it all downloadable content, the reputation is
dumpster tier.
Yeah, it's irreparable almost at this point. I think it's indicative of capitalism in
My mortal enemy.
It's not mortal.
Oh God, don't say that.
It's true.
It is true though. You're hurting me here.
Yeah, no. Tell us about why Dark Souls.
Why Dark Souls?
Yeah. It seems to be an exercise in masochism.
I think you would like it more than you think. I don't know, it's almost like post-apocalyptic in a way, and then there's this like looming level of insanity and uncertainty between all the characters, so you're never really told what's going on, but you can kind of piece it together through all these like weird ramblings and clues you find and stuff. So there is more of a story to it than a lot of people think, but that is mostly because it became so famous for its difficulty. Almost, I would say, way too much, because I am fucking sick of the number of reviews that say Dark Souls-like when a game is challenging. It fucking kills me. They're like, Breath of the Wild brings a new Dark Souls-like element to Legend of Zelda. And I'm like, why? Because it's hard?
Because Link can jump.
I just...
Fucking revolutionary, man.
I just don't get it.
I'm actually kind of upset about that.
Breath of the Wild is amazing. But yeah, I think it became known as just the hard game.
Right. And going back to games used to be fucking hard.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's not harder than what was the freaking side scroller where you were the knight who like went down to his pajamas when you got beat? It's like Ghosts and Goblins. Hardest fucking game ever.
It really is.
Like that's way harder than Dark Souls. The other thing that makes it a little bit different from like, you know, the difficult games of years past is that just like we were talking about, there's so much more you can do with a game now that in a game like Castlevania, Ghouls and Goblins, those super challenging games that are just like side scrollers, it can come down to like the second that you press the jump button because your character can only make it 8 pixels. And a game like Dark Souls that has so many more options for how you're going to dodge, what you're going to equip your character with, whether you're going to, you know, take a little bit of damage here so that you can dodge the next big attack. It gives you so much more options that although it is punishingly difficult, you always know that you can do it by adjusting a little bit, which... You know, I didn't get that feeling when I was playing Lion King on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
I was like, no, this is fucking impossible. There's no way I am jumping from the ostrich to the hippo. Yeah. And in this, it's just like, in Dark Souls, you're like, okay, no, so he always gets me with that big sweeping attack. So do I need to go under him? Do I need to, jump behind him? But there's something about the punishing nature of that game that doesn't get you frustrated quite like other games. I never really wanted to like throw my control even though it is one of the most difficult games I've ever played.
No, but yeah, and the other game is State of Decay, which is a zombie game, but it's focused a lot on...
Can I just say I definitely own that game and have no idea what it is?
It's focused on, like, base building, recruiting. You spend a lot of time, like, going out and scavenging. You do side missions, and once again, people will die. Sometimes main characters. The thing about it is, like, it's really fucking difficult the first time I played it. So it's like, eventually I was like, it's not the fact that I need to pick up these tips and tricks and I can get a head start. It's the fact that, and this is what we all fear the most, I was just simply not ready to deal with the zombie apocalypse.
I would make so many mistakes. Like,
Right.
My first thought was get food, and of course, Billy died getting food. Why didn't I think of that?
That's probably why the game is so good, though.
So it's very important, I believe, at this point in our society to start creating actual zombie survival kits. The listeners of Tesse and Jed, we will be the most prepared for the zombie apocalypse, and
Please.
we will take over the world and start over. It's going to be great. So I think we should start creating our survival kits, playing these video games, get prepared. We got this.
If you
Take over the world.
If you live in the Cleveland area and you are an experienced engineer of any sorts, send us an email.
Yeah, we need some blast shields.
We need some blast shields.
Yep.
We need some solar panels.
Work on the bunker.
Couple of token black people, and all women. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. We need women. A lot of women.
Are you like using these people as fucking bait so that you?
No, I'm not using them as bait. I don't want to tell you what I'm using them as.
And also, I think we can expect Tesse and Jed branded survival kits on your website sometime.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
You
Yeah.
guys, we're gonna take a break.
Next time on Tesse and Jed Presents.
Don't go into the water! There's a... Oh no! My God. The whole world could be destroyed.
Mr. President, there's some crazy funky shit going on over here.
And I mean to find out who's responsible.
There's only one person we can call. Tesse and Jed.
I got one word for you. Tesse and Jed Presents.
Is that its own beast? I think it's its own beast.